after yesterday's blank on the Staffordshire-Worcestershire Canal, surely lightning doesn't strike twice. Well, I've just arrived, another early morning session, a short one. I've cast out and I'm anticipating something on the bank today. I played football last night, enjoyed that very much indeed. Didn't get to bed till pushing 1 a.m. in the end, but my body woke me up this morning at 5:15 saying, take me fishing. And you know what they say? Listen to your body. I've had a couple of taps, tremors, trembles, dips on the float so far. I've even had a perch come off as I was bringing it in, just a small one. So I don't think that lightning will strike twice today. This is quite a nice gudgeon to get back on track with. Just lost a roach as well, only a small one as I was bringing it out the water. I should have used a net. You don't need a landing net just because it's a big fish. The moment you lift it from the water, there's always more chance that you will lose a fish. So by bringing the net into the equation, you do much better in terms of losing fish. Didn't need the net on this one though. It's another gudgeon and a very small one. I would say typical of the size of fish from this particular canal. Still nice though, the gudgeon. Great, aren't they? One of our mini species that also includes the rough and the stone loach, the minnow, etc. Next up, after some gudgeon activity, is a small perch. It's action all the way this morning, and that's just my second perch, although I've been getting lots of gudgeon. Compared to yesterday, what a difference a day makes. I'm fishing with a small Drennan float. It's a 0.6 gram float. I've got 4 pound Maxima Chameleon on the reel, but then I've got a section of 2.5 pound fluorocarbon. And I've got a size 16 hook with a single maggot. Some of the maggots, they're escaping actually while I'm talking. Some of the maggots are quite chunky, so I'm going for the bigger ones because I've got mixed maggots, and you sometimes find that as I've got there, the whites are bigger than the reds. It can be the other way around sometimes. But a nice chunky maggot on a size 16 hook. And a lot of anglers think about how low they can go, whereas I tend to go the opposite. What's the highest line strength or the biggest hook that I can fish with, and get that right balance between losing fish, whether it be a hook pull or a snap if you get something really big, trying to get that balance. And I've certainly had no issues today. Yesterday, nothing at all. And today, it's been a bite every single cast, I think, so far. So don't worry about a size 16 hook where gudgeon are concerned. When they're feeding, you've got them in the swim, they'll take it. But sometimes you could come down to a tiny, tiny hook and you still can't buy a bite. In many ways, that's the great thing about fishing, isn't it? You can't sit down in a classroom situation and work out exactly what's going on. Sometimes you just don't know. I could have had a pike in the swim yesterday. There could have been a pike in the area just lying there on the bottom. That will put the fish off. It could have just been one of those days. Who knows? Imagine what it would be like if in advance of going fishing, you knew that you would catch this amount of fish at that size and at that time. would we actually go if that were the case? It's the sense of the unknown. You go angling and you don't know what you will catch, if indeed you will catch anything, but you go anyway because of that anticipation that you will get something good on the bank. I've got a Norwegian salmon fishing hat on. It was one of two that was presented to me by a Norwegian groundhopper. There were a group of them that I looked after 2-3 years ago now. They were over in the UK doing some ground hopping, taking in a few games over the weekend, and one of them was a New Saints game. They wanted to see a game in Wales, so I looked after them, and one of them was a very keen angler, and he'd obviously realised I like my fishing as well and bought me one of these hats. Well, he bought me a blue one and an orange one, and that leads nicely into the fact that Roy posted yesterday on the video I did about Wolverhampton, funnily enough, and he's a salmon angler, lives in Iceland now, and he commented about Wolverhampton itself and brought back a few memories for me of Fenwick's. It's a shop, or it was a shop, in the town as it was then, and lots of fly fishing stuff going on, all the brightly coloured stuff on the window. And Roy said as a youngster that he had to be pulled away from the shop window because he just was fascinated by all the stuff that was in there, and I could identify with that very much. Memories are great, aren't they? And especially as we get older, as we look back, those memories from when we were children even, they're fantastic. And for me, one of them is my first fish, a gudgeon, on the Staffordshire-Worcestershire Canal, a little bit further on from where I am now, a place called the Bratch, just outside Wombourne. And I'll never forget that fish. That was the fish that started me on a path that I'm still walking today, all these years later. I've lost count of the fish that I've caught on this short session. The perch, numerous ones. They've all been about that size, maybe slightly bigger, some of them. And of course the gudgeon, they've been constant as well. I've certainly enjoyed this, and well, I didn't blank, did I, like I did yesterday? So that's one thing. I'll be back with more sessions this week because I'm on holiday from work. If you're out yourself, tight lines.